Wait, Louis, we need to do a round of applause. We stopped doing that. Why?
It doesn't work anymore.
What do you mean it doesn't work anymore?
It works again.
Yeah, we need to introduce ourselves. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Intechlectual. I am one of two, or half, or 50%, depending on which kind of, 0.5 of your host, Emmanuel, and I'm joined with...
The other half. The one over two.
What's your name, big man?
Louis.
I'm not going to read out what it says on your screen, though.
Yeah, you still won't.
Welcome back. We've had quite a week. We've been fine, but
wait, what episode is this?
15?
14.
But 15, Louis.
It's our 15th, but 14.
Yeah. Anyway, imagine in a world where you push an update on a Thursday night, and then you wake up the next morning and everything's gone kaplunk. That's what happened. Well, was it Thursday night? It was UTC Thursday night, right? But
I
Friday
think it was
for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, there was a Microsoft outage caused by
No, it wasn't
update.
Microsoft.
No, but that's how they worded it.
Impact.
We're gonna get into what it really was, Lou. But this is how the world saw it. Friday morning, Microsoft is down. That's exactly what everybody saw, right? Because no one knows what CrowdStrike is. No one knew what CrowdStrike was, Louis, on Thursday morning. But Friday morning, everybody knew. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So what we saw, the news was Microsoft is down.
A lot of places that had Microsoft operating systems running something specific was down.
No,
I remember
the news said Microsoft down, Louis.
Yeah, but that's why you don't listen to the news.
I know that's what we're going to get into what happened. But Friday morning, everybody woke up, Microsoft down.
Hold up,
and then I was like, Microsoft down. I'm not working today. And then I opened my laptop and it was fine. I was like, well, sounds like Microsoft isn't down.
It's a you problem.
And then the news started conveying that CrowdStrike and run by Falcon, is it?
No, one of their products is called Falcon Endpoint Protection.
Right. So CrowdStrike is the umbrella.
Yeah, it's the company, it's the organization, right. Yeah.
They tried to push an update on Thursday night, UTC, and it crashed everybody's BIOS or everybody's booting on Microsoft devices or Windows devices. What happened, Louis?
That's not what happened? Correct, no.
All right, break it down.
So, long story short, there's a piece of software called Falcon Endpoint Protection. What that really means and what it does, I'll let you Google and find out in greater depths because it can mean many things to different people. It's a piece of software that starts a boot and it protects the device from incoming and outgoing network connectivities and blah, 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 whatever. All right. So it's a software that runs at boot. So, you can have like apps that start up. It's one of those. You see where this is going. They pushed an update to one of their... or a set of their channel files, and I don't really understand how their channels work, but I think they're just like for like updates is how the remote vendor can push these updates to your devices or something like that in like certain streams. So like, I don't know, maybe different subscription models or whatever. So I don't know if the files were corrupted or dodgy or something, whatever it was. These channel files, every time it booted the PC, it will start Falcon client. The client then to bed. Microsoft then gets a BSOD, blue screen of death, which is always fun, with the big smiley, the big sad face. And then it reboots itself because obviously that's what it does, and just continue infinite loop. This is now your device.
Yeah, this was affecting about 8 million devices worldwide from that Friday.
Microsoft said something about like 8.5 million devices is their estimate that got impacted by this.
Yeah, and that's going from anywhere between global banks, airlines, as you all heard, hospitals, and just general like offices that have CrowdStrike as their vendor, I guess, for the endpoint protection.
Endpoint protection, yeah.
What are the other big like known endpoint protection that you can use that aren't CrowdStrike? Because everybody wasn't affected, of course. Only people or only institutions that were using CrowdStrike.
I think almost every one of like the big networky kind of guys that you can hear of has some sort of flavor or has a vendor that they agree with. So like Cisco, Palo Alto, etc. I can't think of any others. I mean, to be honest, I knew what CrowdStrike was, but I didn't really hear of them, if that makes sense. A lot of the places I've worked with, or whatever, they have different endpoint protection. But I guess CrowdStrike's technically the biggest. But then, what are you saying the biggest by? Like, how many people use it, or just how much the company makes? What's their annual turnover? What's the biggest part? What's the
depends on on what you're gonna what your variable is.
Is that the qualification?
It could be either. It depends on what you care about. 'Cause money, I guess, makes the world go round. But use to me, it would be use case, right? It'd be how many, or not users. I guess it'd be endpoints that are running it. That would be if this whatever's them. But then again, one company might have 1 billion devices. So does that mean it's the biggest in the world, or is it like how many companies are using it? Is that your gauge, or is it how many users outside of like big networks or big companies are using it? I don't know how big CrowdStrike is, but it's big enough to be. Was this now officially the biggest outage ever? As far as like,
I read some stuff that it was like this is what people that were waiting for Y2K to happen and like everything's going to stop dead and we're all done for. I think I read some like quotes and stuff like some people were like, this is what we were worried about with Y2K. This is it. This is the thing. Which is kind of funny. I guess maybe it would be, I don't know. It highlights a lot of issues, but also like a massive reliance. So like we've kind of briefly talked about this already, but I'm sure we'll go into more details. Like the different avenues of this that happen. So like automated updates, stuff automatically rolling out, their testing process, which apparently said it got tested, but did it get tested actually? How they're allowed to push that out? Why you as a sysadmin allowing this randomly to be sucked in, but the nature of it being endpoint protection, you want the latest and updated config it's using or whatever that's on it. So it's like a chicken and the egg. Like, do you want to cut your hand off to save the arm? But if the arm's already infected, it's like, well,
what's the point?
There's no point now, right?
Back to your point as well. Everybody, like, you've seen the memes of why would you push an update on a Friday morning? Because it's still like a work day. You want to do it, like, generally speaking, if you're doing updates or just changes in general, Friday night or like the weekend, because then you have 2 days to like mitigate any issues. But like we're saying, these software patches or software updates for protection, for security, they happen on a daily basis. So it's not like they picked a day. They've been rolling out updates like probably the whole week. It just happened to be this one file on CrowdStrike, which goes on to Microsoft, that was affected. Because as we know, Linux devices weren't affected because they use a different, file packages for that.
Yeah, Linux and Mac wasn't affected.
Which is also why part of the people are like, see, that's more reliable, but I don't believe that's the case. It's like, it's just different. Like, this could have happened the other way around. And then we'll be saying Microsoft is the reliable one, but it's not based on like the endpoint itself. It's the engineers for that one. What do you even call it? Sorry, what like? It's not an application. It's a
client. The thing that's running. You're talking about Falcon, so it's a client.
But like software, like is it a software client or is it?
Yeah, it's a piece of software client.
BIOS, like firmware.
It's like a command and control center. So you've got an agent that's running that.
An agent. That's what I'm looking for. Yes.
Yeah.
That agent.
Phone tone gets its updates, whatever, and reports back to a central store. Like you have like you can see it on their website. They've got a dashboard and it's like how many devices, what's currently going on, what's the biggest things you've mitigated, and blah blah blah.
And the good news is they have fixed it, but it's just I don't know how many people
fixed it.
They've removed it. Which is just update again with the fix. If you know how to remove to boot from BIOS and then like remove that file, you can run it again. Or boot I think they have it on the website.
You got to boot into safe mode. Yeah.
Where is it? I'm on their website. Not there. Was it the website? It is their website on CrowdStrike.
What, are you trying to say what the fix is?
No. This is their
or their latest update.
Remediation and guidance.
Yeah, big red banner on the website.
Yeah, because they had like a simple step-by-step of how to...
Yeah, so it's still on there, and it says like go to this directory where CrowdStrike's installed and delete the channel files, and it says which versions are good, which ones are not. Because they've deployed a fix, which so after a given timestamp, they're okay and you'd be good. But previous to that, if you got that last update, you would be stuck in the boot loop, and that's where you need to boot into safe mode. So obviously the Falcon agent wouldn't run. You would then be able to go to that directory and uninstall delete those files as needed. Which is kind of funny because if you've got drive encryption or like BitLock or something like that, that's not an easy step. You can't boot into safe mode in them because you sidestep the whole process of having file encryption, right? So you'd have to have the encryption keys or some sort of mechanism to get back into it, which I guess you couldn't do remotely. I don't know. I'm not as experienced as a sysadmin in Windows, but
They also had an option to boot from a drive, right? I guess you'd have to just like download the correct packages.
You can boot into a recovery disk, but that's not. I don't think that would give you access to the actual file system for an encrypted drive, unless you had the encryption keys, which are probably centrally managed via some sort of like domain controller, as opposed to every encryption keys pasted on the device.
Yeah, and again, this is only affecting like devices that were on during that time before they realized it was an issue. So anything that was off prior to that?
No, so anything that got the update.
Yeah, so, if the machine's off, it wouldn't have got the update, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they turn on internet connection at 11 p.m. and do updates for an hour and then turn off. I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
mate.
But like, imagine. Well, it says here Windows hosts which were brought online after. This is in UTC. 5 a.m. UTC would not have been impacted. And that was on the 19th, which was Thursday. Or was that the Friday?
The 19th.
That was
yeah,
Friday. So Friday morning.
Yeah.
And Windows host installed and provisioned after 5 a.m. on the 19th. UTC are not impacted.
Yeah. So this is what I was saying earlier with
Mac
the content.
and Linux-based hosts weren't impacted either.
Yeah, it's the content that. So like, it does the whole ET phone home and like, give me the latest content or the latest stuff that I should be checking and doing whatever. So every time it boots, I guess it's checking if there's a latest version that it can pull. I don't quite know how the model works for their software, but I guess it's some sort of every time it boots, pull that, which is why they're saying maybe after this point.
Well, I guess 5 a.m. is when they removed that faulty file, because everything before that, like Thursday night, that's what was affected. But
yeah, I know. So if you turned it on, say like 2 a.m., you got the update, it's corrupted.
Yeah.
If you now turn it on at 6 a.m. past that time, are you still dodgy and you have to still go in and manually modify, or is that now fixed?
No, I think it would have been. Well, remember, that's what I was trying to find. They said a reboot should have got the new one, but they were like, it wasn't absolute. It was like maybe.
Right.
And
just
then you'd have to do
15
the whole,
times, maybe it'll work.
That was actually that was one of the fixes. Was just keep rebooting it until it eventually like grabs the right file.
Kicked in, yeah. Stopped using the cache. That's kind of nutty.
It's kind of nutty. But that's that. Well, let's do overall thoughts. Again, we talked about hospitals being affected, and I don't know the extent of like, of course, any systems within health services that's affected is going to stress people, and that's people's lives at risk, because we know Delta and other airlines in the US had to grounded a lot of their flights for a few hours, not the whole day, contrary to popular belief. It was just like 3 hours before they realized, like, okay, this is the issue. We can still function without, because everybody was scared, right? It's like, what's going on? Is this going to like knock on to other systems, or is it just we can't just turn this like server on or this system, but everything else was running? And of course, like major banks as well were affected. But again, it was just that one day. We won't really know the extent of things until Monday, so which is tomorrow, because we're recording on Sunday. But it's like one of those things. Anything that happens that's affecting that many people, that many devices, is going to change the world.
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously only people that use CrowdStrike specifically, but then at the same time, going back to what I said earlier, like, what's the definition of big? Why do people use it? Do they use it because it's good and they've got a good track history, and now this is just a big blip in the road, or is this like highlighting you've all been paying for something that seemed like it was good, and because so many people were buying it, you all bought into the same what is it? I guess it's like, I don't want to say it's FOMO, but kind of FOMO, like, oh, this looks like the big shiny thing that I should pay however much. I don't know how much this stuff costs. Were you all not, what's the word? Were you all baited per se? Is it not actually the best? There's a better word for it. But is there other alternatives? How many people are going to ditch CrowdStrike now and try to get out their contracts or whatever they've got because of this? Or does it just highlight that there's just a big issue at any point based on this model of like how this protection works? So not just for CrowdStrike and specifically their Falcon product, but all of them in general, right? You've got this whole command control center thing that's pulling and ET phoning home to get the latest content, the latest updates that it needs to be able to run. Where's the chicken and the egg? Like, which one comes first? How do you protect this from happening?
I think you can't. That's my thing. It's like something bad happened. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like they claim, like you said, that they tested. We have to just take their word for it until, again, the real truth comes back. But even if you were to test and everything ran and you had like a test environment that was separate to production and everything runs smoothly, pushing to globally is a whole different ball game. Like, you can't test absolutely. Otherwise, you'd never release anything because testing is endless. You know what I mean? You can test so many different variables and so many different types of like situations and so many different types of outputs or mistakes that can potentially happen. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. So you have to get to a point where like the majority of people or the red tape guys are like happy with, okay, you've tested that and this, but
risk
just the slightest thing can still happen between the moment you test and the moment you push. That's exactly what happened here. That file system, I don't think they knew existed, but somehow it entered into the realm of the update, which again is probably why a lot of people, the channel file.
Oh no, they would know that. They would be deploying this on a brand new thing and running the agent. So
right. I mean, but the whatever was wrong in that file system or in that package wasn't. If it was part of the test, they'd know, right? Would hope that they'd know, like, hey, that doesn't work because there's something wrong with this. But between that last test or that last check or whatever, and then actually pushing, something happened, and then this is where we get to. But you can't, like, you know what I mean? You can't test for everything. So this isn't like. What's unfortunate is how the impact it brought. That's the question I'm asking, or people should be asking, is why was there so many devices affected at one single time, and why wasn't there a rollout? Like, I guess that's my biggest is why wasn't this done in this area and then this region and this zone? If it's doing it globally at the same time, it's like you don't have that. You can't see who's affected and who's not. It's just everybody gets it at the same time. Whereas you can't be like, oh, this region's like gone to, it's broken, so then stop the rest of the world from getting this update until we fix this. It's just more isolated. That's my biggest takeaway is like, why wasn't this isolated into separate parts, even just as release, and then like gone on from there?
Maybe it was. Maybe it just happened over like 3 hours. So that's the global rollout over a 3 hour period or whatever.
That's a short amount of time. I mean, like days. Like it should be one region, one day, the next, even weeks. Although you can't do, but again, you can't do
going
weeks
back
because this is a security agent.
Yeah,
and they're gonna have a new update like in 2 days' time. So again, it's like it's one of those things. Like, what can you do really except just be better? But then that's like cool to hear. But in reality, it's like not going to change anything. It's just going to be how can you react. Really, is what you can improve. And their reaction should have been. Well, I don't see any faults in even how you were upset with the communications, I guess, from CEOs. But like, I'm not going to take CEOs as like words for, you know, they're meant to be like weird about it or like meant to be like saving face, but it's the people behind the closed doors.
The dude was like, there's no problem, nothing, sweeping it under the rug without actually like acknowledging the fact. And then like the director or whoever it was that is responsible for the product is like, yeah, we're aware of a P0 going on, whatever. I can't remember what the tweet exactly said, but it's like, there's a P0, we're investigating, we'll get back to you as soon as we know more. It's like, don't just brush it under the carpet. And it's one thing that you see a lot with CEOs and people that are kind of what's the word? separated from the product or what they're doing.
Yeah,
So like
that's what I mean. Like, that's for
they get
public.
something. Yeah, but you don't go,
No, you're right.
it's
you're
not
right,
a problem. Like that was
Yeah.
dumb. And I guess like you see their stock, like I think by the end of Friday they were down like 11-12%. But during the day it was even higher at that
Buy
point.
the dip, Louis. Buy
Don't
the
buy
dip.
the dip. Don't buy the dip. This isn't
CR
Wall Street bets.
CRD? CRWD? What's their initialization for their stock?
Oh, their stock ticker. Couldn't tell you. You have to Google it.
Buy the dip. It's a good time to get into CrowdStrike.
Don't buy the dip. This is not financial.
Oh, what did you say? You said short. Listen, the last time I gave financial advice was amazing financial advice. This time I'm not so sure, so don't back this. I'm not backing this. I'm not backing this. But if you bought Bitcoin when I told you 2 years ago, you'd have been laughing right now.
No, you wouldn't. The dip from 2 years to now, you'd lost a lot of money.
Louis, 2 years ago it was not 70k.
2 years ago is when it was hitting its peak.
No,
then
2 years ago, 2022.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There was a major dip for a while.
Yeah, that's when it was dipping. Not when it was peaking. It hasn't peaked since like mid-pandemic.
So
Get it up. Hey, I'm the Bitcoin guru, Louis.
Don't.
I am.
Don't. That's not something you want to be associated with.
No, I mean like not actually. By guru, I just mean like I get it. I'm aware.
Yeah, 22 was about seeing GBPs. It's like 20k.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't 60. So I'm using dollars, so but still.
Yeah.
The whole 2022 was quite flat. Then it started like going up and down. I think it hit like near 30s again, dollars. 2023, but since 2021 and 2020, it hasn't been. It kind of like died down, even in just conversations and like trends and whatnot. But in this year, that's why this was so big. It was like, yo, it stabilized for a minute.
It's also like anything that like any stock you could have bought between like 2020 to 2022, it's doubled in price.
Exactly.
Because of the pandemic or not.
It goes up, then it goes down.
Yeah, and it's all going to go down again because there's going to be a big stock market crash. But
you think so? What do you think that, Louis?
I won't get into the specifics of it.
No, that's what we're here for, Louis.
Nah, this isn't financial
specifics.
Advice.
It's not just speculation.
Yeah,
because I look at stocks from a use case, like how useful is this point of view. I don't look at it from I'm never in it for money. Do you know what I mean? Like the reason why I like the idea of Bitcoin was a decentralized financial like entity.
Yeah, same.
That's my. I've never talked about anything else, right? I've never talked about any other coins. I've only talked about Bitcoin for one reason and one reason only, because I feel like as a use case for real world change and just like, not being part of like the global economical like game that only benefits two countries. It's like this could be the next thing. It should be. It is, but it's just been used wrong. And also the powers that be don't want it to be used right now. But we had instances of like countries in Southern American that did adopt it for a little bit, but I don't know if they're still adopting it or if they're still going. I think Honduras. Actually, don't quote me. But there was countries that were like, this is going to be a new currency, blah, blah, blah. But, because it's just an option. And that's all people want is an option. Because we have other countries that have like their natural currency that's just like, they're having to use dollars or pounds to function in the world, and that's not, I don't think that's fair. So that's why I backed it, and that's why I still back it, because I back what it could be. Unlike Dogecoin, if someone, that's the thing, right? I start talking about Bitcoin with people, and somebody in the conversation will bring up Dogecoin, and I leave. I'm like, cool, bro. All right, I see where this is going.
It's literally
I see where this is going. This is
a meme coin. Like,
yeah, bet
every time Elon tweets,
it, bro.
It just goes up. So just wait for Elon to tweet and then sell it.
Yeah, that's not the conversation I want. Also, that's not a coincidence that he made that, by the way, or wanted it to be. Like, I feel like a lot of people use their power to. No, he endorsed it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. That's why he got sanctioned too, because it was like, yo, stop tweeting about like stock prices, even if it's memes.
It wasn't also for Dogecoin.
No, it was for the Tesla, but in general, I think in the case was like, this is more than just this. Like with your activity online, it's actually changing like people's decision making, and it's affecting stocks and your reputation as a company too.
But if people just blindly look at something and be like, okay, I should do this. They're a moron.
Yeah.
So that's
people, though. That's what they're going to do. That's why it matters when people like him, what they say. Like, people, you need to hold people accountable. Because he knows half of his fans are brain dead and they're just followers. And that's what the power comes from, right? Is you buy cars that look silly and are, like, dangerous. And then you... Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you're selling whatever. Shout out to the SpaceX stuff. That's actually pretty cool and works. But the rest of it, it's just whatever.
Yeah, debatable. How do we even get to this topic?
I don't know. Where were we?
Where were we?
What's your overall thought? I think I was saying about how I feel. It's the only thing that can be improved is how you react, because mistakes will happen in the future. You can't mitigate any all mistakes. It's just part of the process. You just hope it doesn't kill anybody. So it's like,
I wonder if anyone did die as a result of this.
That's what I'm trying to say. We won't know the real impact until like after next week. But like, just even COVID, right? You stress the health system, or like you destroy ease of access to information in any capacity, it's gonna affect people's lives. And flights to people that couldn't make it to certain events, or couldn't go certain places, or had to stay overnight somewhere. I'm pretty sure I had a friend that was flying somewhere and they had to stay in a hotel, but I didn't think I realized if that was a reason. Obviously there's flight cancellations all the time, but it was like on Friday, so maybe I'll talk to them. I'll ask them, like, yo, was it related to or was it just a normal Ryanair like flight?
I want to know where does the buck lie? So like, if for say, I don't know, hundreds of flights got cancelled, can that airline provider now, are they responsible, or does the buck lie with CrowdStrike?
Nobody.
But you're paying for a service. Do they have some clause in their contract that says something like we should have like 99%, 99999 uptime or whatever like that, and if we don't, we'll pay you money, that sort of stuff? Do they have that in their contracts and whatever?
If they do, and this is the first time it's ever gone down, they probably wouldn't even reach. Obviously, the number you just gave is like impossible to like. No one would sign that. But let's just say 90%. No, 90% is actually crazy.
What, like 5 nines? No, like most cloud providers, they guarantee like 4 nines.
Uptime?
Yeah.
All right.
Go to like any cloud provider and look at one of their services, like, I don't know, like S3 and AWS. I'm pretty sure it's like
in that
4
case,
nines.
yeah. If I mean, good luck trying to pay out Delta Airlines is like downtime for like on a Friday night too.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, who's responsible?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, that company and their software, they decided to use CrowdStrike. It wasn't told that they have to use CrowdStrike.
Exactly.
They chose to use it. So at the same time, it's like, you're only as good as what that was. And sure, you don't pay them a lot of money for them to bed and ruin your stuff, but I guess you kind of can't throw your toys out of the pram and say you now need to pay this. But then at the same time, depends on what's their contractual agreements, and
yeah, and it's he say she say, lawyers.
He's got the biggest deals and stuff. Yeah, like the hospitals and stuff, for example.
Yeah,
a lot of the hospitals, they get not free reign, but I think if I understand most of it, like some of the like the NHS ones, some of the hospitals are buildings managed and operated, like everything inside of it, like all the equipment and whatnot, by like a third party, but not for everyone. It's like, say, this hospital and this hospital was managed by this company, and then this hospital and this one was managed by this company. I don't think there's like a whole central setup. So like, if you've got free reign to deploy what you want, that's why it wasn't like the whole of the UK's medical system went down.
Louis,
what? Go on.
We're gonna have a conversation one day.
Uh-oh.
It's about exactly what you just said, but I don't know. So I don't know where I sit. I know where I sit on privatized healthcare and public healthcare, of course. But when it comes to best infrastructure, I had this debate with myself, like literally last week.
Right.
If it's privately owned, there's no cap to spending, technically. It's as much as you can afford, right?
Providing there's enough in, yeah.
Or I'm assuming, let's say Virgin, when they wanted to buy the NHS, right?
Aren't they selling off like most of their business because they absolutely failed?
Yeah, this is my point. At the time, right? It was like Branson and them are doing bits. So if he wanted to spend 10 bill on a hospital in Coventry, he could, if he can afford it and he wanted to. And that hospital would have CrowdStrike Premium, right? on their services. When it's public, it's divvied up depending on the whole country, right? This is a budget we have. We have to, I don't know if it's split equally, but or per capita or per like use case, but whatever. This is the budget we have. It's not as much as they have, but we have to like spend it equally to across the board of like the whole country if it's public, because it's publicly owned, right? Or not public, not owned. It's just public. So it's whatever the government can give out. But if the incentive is profit and things aren't like good enough to make a profit, does the privately owned entity choose to upgrade and make things better if their end goal is money, versus the other ones who can't afford maybe the same infrastructures, but their goal is to help people? They'll just do what the best that they can. So it's like on one end, you have somebody that could improve something tenfold, but will it be in their best incentive to do so if you're guaranteed to make a 5% increase in profits every year, doing nothing except the bare minimum? Do you keep it at that bare minimum? They probably would, is what I'm trying to say. But there's a potential of, let's upgrade this to be like whatever. But anyway, my point is we'll have the conversation one day on what the differences look like. Because I have not seen different countries and how they operate between like a privately owned health institutions and publicly owned. But I mean, I've got an idea in the US, but like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not. It's like case by case basis, because each institution becomes its own privately owned entity. So it's not like you can't see it. And also those numbers aren't released publicly because it's private and they wouldn't do that. So it's like, it's hard to gauge. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to like, to know. And also the costs change too, but then it's like, not everybody actually pays everything they're meant to pay. You can just like get bursaries, not bursaries, what are they called?
Grants and stuff.
Yeah, not grants. It's like,
what, for the subsidiaries?
Is that the word? But there's, I don't know either, but it's one of those words. But it's like, and then, but debt. You're put in debt forever. But then sometimes you don't have to actually pay everything because it's like, whatever. But regardless of, if that company wants their money, they're going to get their money. And then it's up to the government and your bank or wherever to force you to pay back your medical bills or to get, what's it called? Excused? Or like when they're like, you know what? You went through a lot, so it's fine.
Oh, they like wipe it.
Yeah.
There's a word for it. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I can't think of the word either. I mean, I've said excused.
I'll save my full point for that episode when we do that or whatever. But one of the reasons why America's so broken is like the landed are free, but you take a trip in an ambulance and that costs you $5,000.
Yeah. Honestly, I know people take Ubers to the hospital because it's like, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's
or they'll
mad.
just walk or take the train. Like, it's just, yeah, that's how it is. I thought that was all a joke until I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So.
All right, I got to make sure I walk around in a bubble.
No, honest, we're going to be
2 meters at all
can
times.
are we being honest? Are we being honest? If
Yeah,
anything happens
always
to me, Louis, my first thing I'm doing is getting a flight back. I'm getting a flight back.
I don't blame you. I honestly don't.
Because I know how much that costs, and I know how I'll be treated back in the UK. I had to think about that. I had to literally like look. I had to look at all my I guess what would you call it? Insurances and hospital, anything health related, and I'd be like, okay, that's good. So I'm covered for this and this and this. But anything more than that, British Airways, I need you in speed dial.
Need the next flight. 20 minutes. Right, I'll be there.
I think Delta goes to London as well, but yeah, it's like yeah. But dentists, that's fine, cool. Break a leg, okay, BA. How quickly can I get to JFK? Can I hobble? I can limp. I can get a little wheelchair when I get to the airport. Wheel me around.
Let's get an Uber.
What's wrong? Nothing. It's fine. Just get me to the airport, bro.
You don't look well. Don't worry. We're on a clock.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We'll go. We'll have an episode on that because that would be kind of mad to see some numbers or.
Yeah. Also, we'll see numbers for this as well, like after next week, because never, maybe we never will, Louis. Maybe we never
get
know.
hushed up.
It'll get hushed up. Just nothing happened.
What
Y2K?
What incident? What are you talking about?
Y2 24K. It doesn't. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It didn't land.
Y2K. I don't know.
But yeah. So now
But make a really messed up.
Should we have some
joke.
fun? Should we have some fun, Louis? We've been.
Yeah, go on. What are we doing?
We've been on the Twitters and the Instas, and we've been seeing some stuff that we'd like to just go over.
Yeah, we've been reporting everyone's stuff.
Do you want to do Insta or do you want to do?
Hey man, let's go through all of it.
Alright, I'm gonna jump on Twitter. I don't call it X.
I was gonna say what's X, but yeah, Twitter.
This is your favorite thing, Louis.
You know, actually, wait. Unpopular opinion: Twitter's become a cesspit.
It is a cesspit, but it's a diamonds in the rough, Louis. Diamonds in the rough.
Right.
It's still pots that are good. It's just the people that have the premium. That I don't get that. Like I get it, but it's disgusting. Like just because you're premium doesn't mean I should see your comments first. And if like 10 of you comment, I have to like scroll like 100 comments down to see like normal people that are actually funny instead of people that are paid to like for attention. Which makes sense, right? You pay for attention. I get it, but like, don't do that. You know, just go back to how it was. The funniest person wins. Missing those days. But I saw the Firefox enabling ad tracker on all users.
Is it by default?
I don't know. Allow websites to perform privacy preserving ad measurement. This helps sites understand how their ads perform without collecting data about you. So that's checked. So yeah, it's default. You have to turn it off.
Yeah, but that image is checked. It could be just what that person.
That's true. I'm gonna assume it's checked. Because why would it, Louis? There's no way they give you that option and then it's unchecked and you gotta go and put it on. You know, we know for a fact. I don't have to check this. It's by default and you gotta go turn it off. But I'm happy that you can go turn it off. It's just like no one will actually know or check. But if you use Firefox, there is an option to turn off website advertising preferences and tracking. So go do that. Because unless some people, although like when it comes to ad tracking, low key, my newest sunglasses that I bought were because I kept Instagram's, I kept like tailoring my ads, tell it what I like and don't like, and eventually started showing me things that I actually do like, the kind of like fashion that I'm into. And then I actually found a nice pair of sunglasses and trousers that I actually would buy from like small companies. So there is like a not a net benefit, but there is like, you can kind of, you know, force it to work for you. Because now it's like working for me. That's how it should do. That's how it should work, right? Louis, am I going crazy? There's going to be ads anyway, right? It's going to show you adverts regardless. So you might as well put in like 5 minutes of effort to make it show you things you might actually get or be interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind ads. Ads make the world go round, right? There's how do you get your product out there? How do other people see it, etc., etc., etc. What I don't agree with is all this like cross tracking that, like, we talked about Apple on the last. Was it the last episode that we talked about Yeah, it was last episode. We talked about Apple and Android and whatever the latest release is. And then, like, literally, like 2 hours later, I send you a screenshot on Instagram, and it's like Apple's like, it's an Apple ad saying like how to transfer your device to Apple.
Yeah.
And I don't have an Apple device, which is just like hilarious. It's like,
yeah.
Where's this coming from? How's this going? It's a little bit creepy in that sense, and I don't mind the targeted ad. That's not a problem. What I have a problem is, time and time again, these ads aren't checked. Right? You can go to Google, you can search for something. The top of Google will show you some sponsored link, which looks like it's your the link that you want, but you click on it. For all you know, that could be a honeypot. That could be some sort of what's the word when you go to a website? It looks like it, but it's just stealing your credentials, like credential harvester or something, right?
Yeah.
Again, it looks like the site that you want, but there's one letter wrong, stuff like that. Like, how can Google allow that to happen? And not just that. I mean, anywhere you go,
that's how
the ads that you see, like whatever the adverts for, like what's the ones that you used to see like many years ago? Maybe you still do now. I don't know. I had all my ads blocked for many years. Like mail order brides and all sorts of other crazy stuff. Like you'd go to Stack Overflow, and on the right hand side, it's like meet someone from Thailand now. It's like I've not talked about it to anyone about Thailand. Like where the hell was this come from? And it's like
same as. So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if someone clicked on that link, I guarantee you that's taking you somewhere where it's trying its best to install some sort of malware and take over your device. And it's like that's not an advert. You're giving dodgy people a platform.
Yeah, but that's back to same as X. It's whoever the biggest. If you're spending enough money to get their attention on that page, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like ads themselves aren't bad. I've got no issue with the ads.
Yeah,
I've got an issue with that. None of it.
There's no there's no vetting. There's no process to like, is this good or is this just stealing and pretending? Like if you were just pretending to be somebody else, that should be illegal. It's not, do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's defamation. One. That's two. It's pretending to. Well, what's you know what I mean? There's like laws against pretending to be somebody. I'm blanking. But this is I don't know
identity
why.
theft.
Yeah,
fraud.
Like if I'm trying to go on YouTube.com and yours is YouTube. Some of them actually do look like YouTube.com. Like they would actually have the YouTube.com as their like link, but then like it forwards to something else.
And
it's like
they got your credentials, lad.
How is that legal? And how is this person paid for ads on Google and is on the front page when I type in YouTube on search? How is that allowed? But that's my point. Back to my health systems as well. Is it a private entity, is decided money over everything. So it's like whoever we're making profits. Sorry, you're not getting your searches anymore. We looked at our last quarter and we're up. We've been up. So you might complain about your little search engine, but until you find a better one, why would we improve when our money's going up? You can add Reddit to all your searches. We don't mind. They're still using us. They don't care, Louis. They don't care. All they care about is how much money they're making, and they're still making money. And sorry, Bing, but you're not good enough for people to switch over. Oh, they use DuckDuckGo, right?
Yeah, I use that. I was gonna say I stopped using Google a long time ago. I use DuckDuckGo, which uses Bing's API, but they've got they use Bing's API, but they pre-process everything that goes to them and from them. So none of your details go to them. It's all like anonymized, and then what they send back to you, they've scrubbed a whole bunch of random spammy. Yeah, and to be honest, I've not had any issues since I ditched Google.
That's fair.
Yeah, like sure, I miss a couple of the you know how you can like what's the word that you can say, make sure you include this word, don't include this word, it has to include this phrase, add emphasis to this. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can do inside of a Google search engine. Some of that doesn't quite work as well, but
still back to
still executing.
The ad block or tracking, you can still use uBlock Origin. That's still pretty good. Pi-hole, I've never used it.
Yeah.
There's
Pi-hole you got to install.
Sponsor block, bypass paywall clean, and you can get ones on your phone, like on Android as well. And I don't know about iPhones or like iOS. You can also use the no, you can't use the VPN search option. You know that what's that option on the I guess it's Safari, right? You can have like a VPN enabled, like untracked search or untracked browsing that doesn't save anything. No, it's like an extra. It's like incognito, but nothing is saved. Don't know where you are either. But that's I think they're still gonna get ads. No. This is Safari on iOS. I was gonna say I tend to just use VPN on Brave.
Yeah,
this is free. You don't have to get like. Although, talking to VPNs, we would also recommend. Louis, now's the time that you read out our sponsor.
NordVPN.
Yeah, we have a NordVPN link. Link in bio, down below.
Not in the bio, in the description.
Link in bio, Louis. Link
in the description. This isn't Insta. We're not trying to sell someone some irrelevant.
Yeah, and with also like Nord and etc. Because on Brave, although I do use it, you only get like 4 regions, and it's like kind of random to countries, so you don't know which country you're going to get. Well. Yeah. So, yeah. But with Brave, you can select like exactly where you want to be or where you want to go to.
No, with Nord, you can select wherever you want to be.
That's what I meant. With Nord, you can.
Yeah, they've got many regions. it's pretty cool. We use them. We recommend them. Should check them out. If you use the link, we potentially get a little bit of support for the show, which we would greatly appreciate.
Yeah. All right. What's next? What's on your list? What you got?
What's on my list?
Yeah, what did you find?
Well, we're going through Twitter. I don't think I want to look at my normal Twitter feed. I'll look at our chat. We've shared a few things back and forth. There's a lot of CrowdStrike. Oh, the graphic of the planes, so like the live tracking of like where all the planes are and where they're going, that disappeared over like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Obviously they couldn't execute. That was kind of mad.
Yeah. I think they just grounded them because they were scared. Like it wasn't.
No, they're meant to do certain stuff like that. Like that's protocol to like stop.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which was kind of funny. The next one, ChatGPT, like 9.11 and 9.9, which is bigger? And ChatGPT goes 9.11 is bigger than
9.9 because of 9.11. Yeah, that's
yeah, like it's one of those things that you kind of make you laugh. Like it's like, oh, AI is gonna take over the world, but at the same time, it's like we've got to train it, and we're obviously not doing that much of a good of a job of things.
No, that's 9.11. It's limited to human, not human error, but like because also we have so many principles, right? We were just talking about starting a race from 0 and then starting from 1. Like, how's it gonna like contextually? What do you?
This is an advert from just scrolling down on the one that we said. This is dating app.
Not gonna lie to you, I do pay for the simplest form of X just to not see ads. Actually, no, I still see ads. I see less ads, which is ridiculous. But hey, I was testing it, Louis, for the podcast. I was trying to see if it's worth it. I'm gonna go up a tier and then I'm gonna report back.
Wait, hang on. Scrolling down in the feed, someone tested it with Gemini as well, and Gemini said the same thing. 9.11 is bigger than 9.9. You know what? We were getting hoodwinked. Is every single AI model just the same one?
Well,
they're using an API.
They've probably been fed the same data set, or like the same. You know what I mean? So this is one of those things.
I don't know. Like the GPT one was the new 4.0, which is more geared towards, I don't know, something different. So maybe it would be different in 3 than I guess Gemini. Still saying dumb stuff.
Yeah. Also, how's it reading? Is it reading it as a number or an integer?
That's the other thing, right? So like you put 9.11, is that like accidentally casting it to like an int?
Yeah.
So is that like dropping the decimal points? What's their precision?
If that question was, which is bigger as a number, would it report? I mean, we can test that out, right? I can't. I don't think I'm not doing that. I can't be asked. But
yeah, I'm not logged in.
Sometimes my point is, your prompts or your questions, you have to be smarter about how you question things. These people, I get it. They're looking to try and like break it or to make it look wrong because it's still good to do because you want to know its limitations and if it can self-correct. That is the next phase, right? Is self-correction. Or it asking you, what do you mean? Because I can give you 10 different types of answers for this. It shouldn't even, back to this as well, it shouldn't give you an answer. It should be like, these are the 2 ways you can solve this, or these are 2 methodologies that, you know, if you're looking at it from this kind of data set or this other data set, it shouldn't just be like, this is the answer, you're wrong. That's crazy. But who knows? Did you see that quote from IBM in 1979? A computer can never be held accountable. Therefore, a computer must never make a management decision.
Wait, hold up. I'm going back to the advertising with Firefox.
Yes.
I just don't have the option. I got the latest update. Is that like America only or something then?
I don't know. Were we hoodwinked? It never happened, Louis. Or maybe they got rid of it because of the backlash.
Imagine. I mean, when were these tweets? These tweets were like 5 days ago. It doesn't exist. Maybe I do have an update. I don't know. Anyway, cool. That's funny. I was gonna say like we just been baited and that doesn't actually exist. Imagine.
Well, there's an ungoogled Chromium.
I don't know. Maybe.
What does that even mean? I need to. Okay, that sounds interesting.
So Google made Chromium the engine, and Chrome is based upon Chromium. Same as Brave and same as.
But what's an
Microsoft's Edge? They all use Chromium. Safari itself doesn't. What are the other browsers? Firefox uses Gecko. I think it's Gecko. That's their browser engine.
You can get it on GitHub. Ungoogled Chromium, Louis. That's the next thing.
Chromium itself is open source, I believe.
Yeah. But somebody's made an ungoogled. It's called, literally is called Ungoogled Chromium.
Yeah, Chromium is an open source browser project. So they probably just made a browser that uses what, Chromium? What's it called? Ungoogled. What's the name of it? Ungoogled Chromium.
Yeah. Hyphen in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's a fork of Chromium that removes Google Web Service dependency.
That's the answer. Or is it? If your issue is Google, where you like Chromium, there you go.
Well, it's still using Chromium, which is from Google, so...
Yeah. You can just like use anything else and just use like DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo is a search engine.
Yeah. But yeah, because then you still have the services and applications that are Google if you still use Google.
What does DuckDuckGo's browser use?
They should just make. Why don't they just make a web browser?
DuckDuckGo has a web browser. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know what it's on.
It's probably Chromium.
I don't know what they're... Don't know. I guess I won't easily find out.
Hey, it happens. All right, IBM.
What
do you
about
think
IBM?
of that quote? I've lost it, Louis.
Say it again.
A computer can never be held accountable. Therefore, a computer must never make a management decision.
You should never make a management decision. What are we talking like? I am. Was it iRobot? Sunny. I have dreams, Detective Spooner.
I think.
You can't have dreams. You're a robot.
Lattice. I don't know what Lattice is. But they made an AI and management position. They gave an AI
Lattice
engine.
a company?
Yeah, yes. I don't know what they do. They gave... What does this say?
Oh, they created a job role for it.
A sales development representative was an Piper AI. By the way,
treat
after
AI
like a day of
real
that,
employees.
They did like change everything back.
They make AI themselves, right? What do they do?
Don't know, mate. Make Lattice, innit?
Lattice makes Lattice AI, which is just like, it looks like scheduling and management of stuff, which I guess, why not have your AI work for you? But then it's not an AI then. It's not an employee, right? By definition, it doesn't have life.
Is that what we define as
I think
employee?
by law, technically something has to be living and breathing.
Oh, no. They're AI powered, though. They're not an AI company.
No, so they've built an AI that enhances their software or whatever their offering is. But this person that you're saying that they've hired...
No. They gave that AI a leadership role in their hierarchy.
Right. As like a gimmick? Because just like, oh, look at us, we're on the edge.
Let's take it as if it was like serious. And then back to that IBM quote. How do you feel, Louis?
Where's the source of this? You got a link or something?
On their website.
Where? I'm on Lattice's website.
Where's their blog? Do they have a blog? I'm gonna just link you to it.
Where? Send me a link.
On X.
X. Oh no. Because Lattice makes history and leads the way in responsible employment of AI. This sparked a lot of conversation and questions that have no answers yet. We look forward to contributing to work with our customers on the responsible use of AI, but will not further pursue digital workers in the product. Lol. That was 3 days after they said it.
Yes, exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
Dropped it on July the 9th, removed it on July the 12th.
So they got a lot of backlash because they made Piper AI a sales rep, one of their part of their management. You can see the hierarchy at the top.
Sales development representative. But it's not in control of anyone, so it's just like another employee. It's just like a resource in a team, but it's not managing anyone, right? Sales development representative. I don't know what that means.
You're right, there's no one underneath it. I was assuming there'd be somebody underneath it. All right, so they made AI an employee.
Yeah, which doesn't really make sense because someone still has to control it. Like, until you have full-blown AI that can do the job for you, it's not an employee. Someone else is still running the commands and doing stuff. So technically, you've just made someone else's job harder. You've given them more responsibility and said you're hiring an AI when you're not. So you've just basically gaslit an employee into extra responsibility.
Relax. We're using a lot of words here, Louis. I don't think anyone's been gaslit. They're probably being paid. Hopefully they're being paid. But yeah, it's like, wait, that's my role. No, not the AI.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. That's the question. So I was trying to go over it as like management, right? Because eventually somebody, if they're willing to make it into an employee, we're going to get to a point where somebody makes it into a manager, right? So even just as an employee,
joining.
The person that's actually controlling, programming, updating, upgrading that AI, where are they in this? Why can they not be put even just above it? I guess it's the person above, the sales manager. Maybe that's them. But then it's like, are you treating the AI equal to the other two employees underneath in the team? And back to your point, are they being paid? Are you paying the AI? What makes an employer? I mean, an employee.
I imagine their address is just like hexadecimal, like memory location.
No, it's where the application is. It's just the VM.
No, it'd be a memory address. It'd be like hexadecimal, like physical location in RAM.
The Mac? What do you mean?
No, literally memory. The AI's physical address would be a literal physical address in RAM. So
I thought it'd be the Mac of the server that the application's on.
Nah,
that'd be funnier to me, Louis.
Nah, that's
you know it's better.
You've seen that. You saw that.
It's a physical address. It's funny.
Yeah, you sent me that thing the other day. It's like, what's your address? And it's like 172 whatever. And it's like, no, what's your local address? Where'd you live?
Oh.
And it's like, 192.168. No, what's your physical address? And he starts saying like a MAC address, and it's like, right,
CC colon D5.
That's a good meme. The first time I saw it,
10 years ago.
No, I mean someone else did it. Like I've seen like 7 variations of that in the space of like 2 weeks. It's just someone
that's the internet,
reposting
right?
someone else's content. I don't know. I don't think they've reading this. There's blurred lines between like, so their platform itself is called Lattice, and inside of that you can manage and do all of your HRE stuff like managing time off and your team and feedback and updates and goals and blah 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 blah. What they've integrated seems like it's something that's just continually processing in the background to give you output. So it's like, oh look, I guess it'd be like, hey look, this person's been sick quite a few times. Are they okay? Are you lot stressing them too much? It's like, it's not, there's no real, this is what we've asked it to do. It does it by itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say this was just not clout. What's the word? Like, you know, when you say stuff to like, drive more revenue.
Engagement farming.
Yeah.
They did it. Yeah, for clout. They did it for clout. Just to get their word out. I mean, their name out. Controversy. Marketing? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure that's probably some sort of advertising marketing strategy, right?
It is, yeah.
And
get
like,
people upset.
I mean, have to take it down in 3 days because of all the people commenting. But like, where are people commenting? They're just adding them on Twitter and like lighting them up.
I don't think people email or call in anymore, so it's just on Twitter. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they do. They've had to turn their phone lines off.
I don't think that's not the world we live in anymore.
What's their Twitter? Lattice Group?
Someone's gonna no one's calling a company like, hey, I saw your tweet, didn't like it. Change
They don't
that.
have Twitter. I don't have Twitter.
I don't know.
Also, with Twitter, you can't tell who's who because everyone can get a blue tick. So you're like, this is all messed up. Lattice HQ, that's them. It looks like it's them. Where's the beef? What's their replies?
Hey-ho. Speaking of,
they'd be.
We're moving on, Louis. Let it go. Let the lettuce go. Let the lettuce. We're getting to cabbage.
It's gonna make a hash brown joke, but it doesn't quite make. Sure, go on.
Speaking of privacy, wasn't it this month that Google agreed to delete the data that they were collecting from browsing in incognito after a settlement that they lost?
We talked about that already, like last
episode. That was July.
Didn't
we didn't drop in I saw it in July. Did we actually talk about it? We'll talk about it again.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you go.
Google was collecting your data when incognito, just so you know.
Yeah.
Now they're not. Or now they're willing to delete it. So I don't know if they actually have or they will, but just so you know, before last month, everything you did in incognito, Google had. They know who you are. They know what you are.
Yeah. For anyone that's been on the rock that doesn't know what incognito is, basically it's a mode in your browser that.
Oh,
Ignito.
the
Magneto.
little.
What is that new X-Men?
The guy with the hat, Louis. The guy with the hat.
Guy with a hat.
He's got a hat. Incognito. He's got it's like a detective. He's undercover and glasses. The logo for incognito, Louis.
Right.
It's a hat.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, right. I was gonna say what?
Yeah, incognito basically you enable it and it doesn't track what you're doing. So in your normal browser, you go to a website like Google.
What's it supposed to?
No. Okay, that's what I'm saying. This is what the concept is.
It doesn't save your history and cookies.
History searches. Well, no, cookies by default they always save them, and then when you exit incognito, they won't be saved.
Right. Yeah. When you're there.
So you log into a website in incognito, providing you don't close that tab or that session, you will still be logged in. Whereas you can disable the cookies, so if you go close the tab and open another one, those cookies will be deleted. But yeah, your search history, etc., like that, shouldn't be easy getting saved. But Google was, they say accidentally.
Oopsie.
But we know that's not. So they were tracking history and whatnot. What's kind of funny is like they were tracking it, but they couldn't then go, oh, by the way, we've still been adding it to your history. It's like we've been tracking it, but we've not been telling you about it. We've got the data, but you don't know you don't have access to your own data. So like not only was it like bad that they've done it, but the second part is like you didn't even know that you could even access it. Like if there was a bug and it was like, hey Google, why is my incognito searches turning up in my Google search history of my account? You can then be like, what's going on? But to not know that's happening and then Google happening, and then they do the dig in and go, oh, by the way, whoopsie. It's even more nutty.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they've agreed now, they've added a fix now that stops it, right? Is that correct?
They said they stopped collecting it, yeah. So.
Also, question, after the Chromium stuff, was this like a bug or a feature inside of Chromium, or is this something specifically inside of Chrome?
I don't know, mate.
Because Chromium, although it's open source, Google is the main developer as well as many others. So is it like, although Google was the one that gets caught with it, is that still something that impacted, say, like Brave, which uses Chromium under the hood? Or is it just Google? I imagine it's probably just Google and actual Chrome itself.
It was Google, because they were collecting all data, and they've been told to purge. So it doesn't really matter which one it was, right? It's just the whole company.
Yeah, it would matter. Yes, if it's in Chromium, then it means all the others like Brave, etc.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I think it's.
But if it's Google and it's specifically Chrome, then it's not that it's okay, but it's less spread.
Well, that would be 10 lawsuits if that was the case. I hope it's the case, because then hopefully we can try and, get them to do right. And it was a myth too. People, so imagine being the first guy to be, or woman that was like, yeah, I think Google's collecting our data in incognito. Then was like, nah, mate, if I close the browser, it's fine. And then now it's like, oh, cat's out the bag. They thought I was crazy, Louis.
I've just seen the thing you said from IBM, the 1979 thing. The computer can never be held accountable.
Yeah. Do you think we'll get to a point where people are like, because I mean, you can't, even if you just can't. Somebody has to be blamed, right? Somebody has to be blamed. So I don't think we'll ever get to a stage where people will try it, but then they'll lose because it will be whoever bought the decision-making tool or whoever gave access rights, or, you know, that person will be prosecuted.
My problem is the wording.
You can't take AI to court.
I mean, maybe one day you can.
And then what? I guess, okay, actually, you know what? Maybe you're right. If Lattice is willing to employ an AI tool, and then if said AI, no, but my point is, it's an example. Because they did. That's who they are now. That's what they remember for. That's what they want, right? You wanted that attachment to you. Now you have it.
Who are we talking about again? I forgot.
This guy. If we start paying AI tools as employees, that means they get money, right? That means they get like a bank account or whatever. Therefore, when they make mistakes, you can punish them, right? So you can take money from them. Like, hey, you made a mistake. We're going to take all your money from you. And it was like, nah, I needed a new upgrade. I needed a new RAM. Please don't take this money from me. He's like, well, you did something illegal, so now you're going to pay the punishment, the price for that. So maybe we can get to a stage if they are being rewarded the same way humans are being rewarded, right?
Yeah, their currency is like computing time and access to the internet, right? No, stop it. My problem is the wording with management decision. Like, it can make a decision, but until it's acted. Yeah, so like it can decide for us that our strategic direction is to fire 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It's someone else that has to go fire those 1,000 people, right?
But my point is, if we get to a stage where somebody's like, the AI said so, then it's like, no, you said the AI said so. So I'm
pretty sure people are saying that now. That
no, that's
my
point. Yeah,
the AI
that's
said
why
this.
It's like we can't get to that stage because.
Oh no, we will get to that stage, and it will be blown out of proportion, and all sorts of mad stuff will happen.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, there's consultancy companies, right, that give decisions, and then people use them as they'll pay like McKinsey or something. Like, hey, McKinsey decided or told us it was best to fire everybody, so you can blame them. So it's the same thing. Now, whoever's deciding can still just say, hey, this tool told us or gave us advice after research and, you know, going through.
Isn't that the same as what like developers are doing now? But
exactly.
Because they themselves don't even understand programming. They're putting dodgy code in there.
Why would I shut up developers?
No, there's a new breed of people out there that like don't have a clue. They don't understand the fundamentals. I'm on it. I'm everyone's
new
in the
breed of
line.
people. That's sounds nuts.
You know what, right? And they call themselves like I've seen literally a job advert for like a prompt engineer. Like there's a company that will hire someone literally just to do this. And then there's other places where like they will hire like developers, engineers, senior, not senior, junior, whatever. There's like senior engineers getting hired in places that think that they know what they're talking about and all this other stuff, but put them there without access to the internet.
Yeah,
they probably couldn't like write 2 lines of code. Like they don't understand what's going on. They probably couldn't even write pseudocode. Like have a physical like a logical process of understanding this is the functionality of what this should do. But you've hired them.
I'm with you, but I do also agree that there is a skill in keeping up to date with what's new and being able to utilize new tools. Yeah,
that's
and there is no. But you're right. But there's also a crop of people, a breed that are stuck on something that they learned 20 years ago and won't learn anything new, and it's like it's difficult to, you know what I mean? There's a balance to it. And there is, so I'm saying there's the new side of being a prompt engineer to me is as useful sometimes as somebody that's stuck using like an old development language from 20 years ago that just won't catch up to like anything that's latest. And it's like both of you we want something in the middle, somebody that has a foundation to some like principles, who can attach new tools or methods, and then you also want somebody that's new school that can also has a foundation that can, or like at least is trying to learn and equip themselves with the fundamentals of how things work. But there's a benefit. But I'm with you. I think, but I'm saying both of them to me are useless. You have to be in the middle somewhere. You have to. So if you're listening to this, have a foundation or learn it, and then also what's new. Look at what's new. Like you need to, because there are prompt engineers. You're right. That is a job title now. It's somebody that just prompts AI to like do things and then gives that data to whoever, which is just like a data, like that would have just been a researcher, right? It's not. That's a joke. I'm not saying researchers just use AI all the time, but they are using AI all the time. So
effectively using all the tools at your disposal is the sign of a great person, resource, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even, you have to specify.
But relying on it, not being able to write code without CodePilot enabled in your IDE, like you're done for. Like, how many times and how many like reports, reviews, all sorts of things that I've seen since like these sorts of tools are dropped, and almost all of them say it takes longer to write code because it's adding code that you don't understand or doesn't quite do what you want. So then you have to change it. So then it's like, if you wrote it in the first place and took 10 minutes to understand what you were doing, it probably would have been quicker. Like it generating you code in a minute and then running it doesn't work, and then debugging it for 3 hours is nutty compared to spending half an hour working out what it is and then only 10 minutes debugging it.
Yeah.
You've saved 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like that's,
yeah. Well,
but like I said, the new breed, they've got no clue because they think this is what program is, but they haven't done they haven't printed Hello World once, so they're not a programmer, are they?
Amen. If you did Hello World and changed the font sizes and colors to your website, then did you program?
You know what, right? To those that are getting away with it and getting paid, tip my hat to you.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, bro, it's fair game. Like, if you're back to last time, if somebody's not been trained properly, but they're getting away with it, it's the company's fault. Like, dude, if you've hired someone that's like skating by with basic knowledge, just being able to Google really fast, and then it's like,
but also
at
the same time, if you come across my eyesight, not eyesight,
if we meet.
If you're on my scope, I don't know what the word is. Like if you're on my team,
I'm like, yo, that guy knows nothing.
I'm gonna light you a new one. I won't be like, yo, what's this? You will hear words that you may or may not agree. Then you can type into your AI and see if it's valid content or not. My boss said to me today, what do you think? I mean, 9.11 is higher than 9.9 though, so I guess
9.11. See, my issue is the way you're saying it as well, man.
Well, you say 9.11 to represent the numbers, right?
Yes, but that's my point. It's reading it as 11. Do you know what I mean? Like, no. The way you're reading it is how it's reading it. Because if you read it as 9.11, of course, it's bigger than 9.9. But if you read it as 9.11 instead of 9.9, versus 9.9, then the 9 is bigger than the 1s. Do you know, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's reading it as an 11 versus a 9. But I'm reading it as a 1-1. Because it's not 11, it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's because you're in decimal places, so you go smaller. It's not.
That's my point. Like, it's reading it as an 11, hence why it's getting to that mistake. If you want to call it a mistake. It's correct in some circumstances, but not in the one we want.
No, so it's the way it processes. It's the way it does NLP, so natural language processing. So it's not so much that it reads it as 11. It's just not been. I guess there could be multiple levels. It's like maybe the model itself understands, but the way the physical thing that you're typing into, sorry, not the physical, the GUI, maybe the way that gets translated into the model, because what you type in there and press enter, it's then sending an API request to wherever that model is hosted. Maybe some dev is messed up and is doing some rounding errors. Maybe they've converted it to something else and I don't know, whatever. Maybe they've tried to do some what is it? What's the word when you sanitize your key data, like whatever user's input, you wouldn't just automatically go execute it. Maybe there's some sanitation issues. So maybe it's not even the model itself, but I would bet that it's just been not trained properly, that it is a wider issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What's funny? Wait, actually, I was looking for a quiz for you.
Oh no.
But I haven't found one. I don't know. I just googled quiz.
Nah.
Because I was meant to make one, but I forgot. Oh, here we go.
Wait, did we get any questions on last week's episode?
Of course we did. What?
I don't know. I haven't checked. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, mate, we got thousands. We got millions and billions of questions.
Millions.
So many questions, Louis, that I don't know where to even begin.
Wait, no, we had a poll last week as well, right?
Did have a poll? Yeah, that's true. We had both.
Yeah, who has your soul? Android, Apple? Everyone voted for Android. There's still 11 hours left on the poll. What did we set it for? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah, to the next one. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Just makes more sense, right? Why end it after like 3 days?
I don't know. I thought they'd just gone forever.
Oh right, no. Before it was set for 2 days by default. So
right.
1 week. 1 week. So I was like, nah, let's do. Although forever might be better, right? Because it's just like, why end?
Y2K in it.
Why two?
We're all done for. Wait, that was Twitter. We got anything for Insta? Because we'll probably wrap up soon after.
That's what I was on, actually.
What, Insta?
Yeah. Dude, I keep trying to figure out what I prefer. Samsung's the Galaxy Buds 3. Everybody's been complaining that they look like. Oh, this is my thing I want to tell you about. So you know how Samsung's they released the Buds 3, and everybody was like, "This looks exactly like the what's it called, the Apple AirPods, yeah." And then like, there's also been issues, so they've been taking some back. Oh no, they've stopped selling for a little bit. Something like that. Have you seen them?
I've just seen it, yeah.
To me, they look different, but I guess to everybody else, it looks exactly the same. Because I guess the color scheme they've used as well, the highlights with the orange or whatever, it's like, that's too similar. And also when you open the case, it looks exactly like the AirPod case. So I was like, bet. Anyway,
Okay,
Louis, I want to...
hang on.
But no, wait. Before we do that, I want to apologize. I went to... I don't know how many cafes. I was doing one of my hops, right?
Right.
And I was maybe over caffeinated or just too vibey. I don't know. But in one hand, I didn't bring my bag, or I didn't bring my crossover. So I was holding my Pixel Buds in my hands the whole time. And my phone in the other hand, right? When I got home that night, I didn't have my Pixel Buds in my hands. And I was like, oh no, where are they? So in my head, I was like, that's fine. I'm going to just go find my Pixel or find my device, and it's going to locate it. I switched to using the iPhone, right? So I was connected to my iPhone the whole time. Find My device hadn't located my Pixel Buds in like 2 weeks. So my Pixel Buds are somewhere in the middle of Carroll Gardens in Brooklyn, in one of the like 10 cafes near that station. And there's just no... I will probably go back there again, maybe today.
They probably got it in Lost and Found, yeah.
Yeah, I just go through all of them again and be like, yo, where is it? But regardless, I was like, you know what? Maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's a sign to try different buds or what's it called? Earphones. So, since I'm using the iPhone a lot now, just for day-to-day stuff, I thought, why not get the AirPod Generation 2 Pros?
You bought AirPods?
They'll be here tomorrow.
Mad. I can't fault the product. The product themselves, they're pretty good.
Not gonna lie to you, I didn't realize the second generation Pros had the... What's it called? The rubber, like, muffs.
What, the in-ear?
Yeah.
The actual in-ear as opposed to like
Yes.
on-ear or
Yes.
inner ear. I don't know the word there.
And the way my ears are, after like the left ear, after pressure changes, like if I'm in the tube or the underground or metro, whatever you want to call it, the left ear just changes shape or like size, and the left ear doesn't always fall out, but enough for me to notice it. And I realized the last time I didn't have that issue was the last Pixel Buds, the OGs, that also had the little rubber thing. So I was like, okay, bet. This might be...
you bought the second generation of the Pixel Buds? I didn't know you had them.
You bought me them. That's why I'm apologizing.
Oh, no, I got you the first ones. I got the ones in your hand.
No, you got me the black ones. You got me the pros.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yes, I bought these. You got me the pros.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I bought these myself. But then you were like, you want the pros, and I was like, bet, and you got me the pros. That's why I felt bad. That's why. Yeah, that's what this is all about. You bought me the pros.
Oh, this is what the whole thing... Oh, my bad.
So that's why I was upset that you didn't want to get that nothing watch, because I was like, he better not get it, because I'm going to get it for him.
Oh, no, I didn't get it.
But now you said you don't want it, so that's why I was like, wait, because I almost bought two. I almost bought two, but then luckily I talked to you first.
Oh, man. No, so I will get it. It's just when they've added in the Health Connect.
Okay, let me know when that happens.
Yeah, sure.
Because I know your birthday's in December,
when this dies, then sure, bet. But if it doesn't die any quicker...
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know that was the whole thing.
Yeah, so, but because, like, you forget the whole point in the ecosystem is they work together, right? And... Because I think it still did, like, try to ping out, but it just hadn't connected to another Pixel device. So it just didn't know.
Wait, you've got Android 15?
On what? Yeah.
Does the bud tracking work on Android 14?
It wouldn't matter though. My point was my phone was at home anyway. So the last time it like connected to my buds would have been at home. So it would have been, and I know it wasn't there.
Right.
And it hadn't been, I hadn't connected to another device that wasn't the iPhone in a week anyway. So that whole week it hadn't sent anything to not Samsung, like a Google server. So it just wouldn't have. And if it did, it would have been at home when I was at home. So just useless. But isn't one of those Find My's meant to try to put in multiple devices? Or was that my bugging?
What, for Android?
For one of them, yeah.
Yeah, so iOS now, you can track like your buds via like other people's devices.
No, but
Android 15 will
track another company's device, Bluetooth device.
I don't think either of them does now.
Oh, okay. I thought that was that'd have been crazy. That'd have been too good to be true anyway. But yeah,
I mean, maybe they will eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think they can at the moment.
So for now, it makes more sense to have an Apple music device, I guess, since I'm having that in my pocket all the time. And also because I know it has the tracking that everybody has. So even if I did lose them when I didn't have my iPhone, it'd still like give me a radius.
You're going to buy a Mac next?
You know what? I'm going to get the iPad Air, I think.
Jesus, you are turning into an Apple fanboy.
Wait, no. It's just, dude, listen, I've also bought new Sony speakers, and I might get the XM5s. This is just so, I have a rule. I have ecosystem for simple things. Day-to-day is the iPhone. Day-to-day, not audio, because I'm an audiophile, you know this. I flipping care too much. On the move, music is going to be those AirPods. And then if I was to like travel or want to like use a screen to like edit things or just like watch TV or like casual stuff, that would be the iPad Air. When I'm at home, I want to listen to music, I'm using my Sony's, my speakers and my headphones. I was looking at the Maxes, Louis, but you know what stopped me from getting the Maxes? And what made me realize why I don't like Apple that much? Even though I'm like half and half now. The AirPad, what's it called? The Apple Maxes, they use Lightning still. Why the hell in 2024 would I ever get a device with Lightning?
Because they only forced them to change the
they probably
iPhones
released them, yeah, but still, like, release a new version or tease it or something.
Until everyone wants to
Like,
buy into it and the whole FOMO and stuff, they won't.
it's not even buying into it. It's illegal right now. Like, or
no, it's for the phones
was,
only.
but not, yeah.
I think it's
no,
phones
but
only,
I think because of that, their next iteration of the over-ear headphones will also be, because that's the thing. The new AirPods, AirPod Max. Oh Jesus, I don't know the names. AirPod Pro Generation 2s. They have MagSafe and USB-C. And I didn't care about MagSafe, but the USB-C, I was like, bet this is an easy decision. Plus, it was Prime Week, right? So I got like $20 off. Which, by the way, Prime Week takes a month apparently, because I thought I missed it, but whatever.
I feel like they just bump up the prices anyway.
No, it was like $220 on Apple Store, but it was like $180 on Amazon.
Okay.
And plus care would have been $200. So, but
you find stuff, they break.
No, I'm looking for them. I want them back because I want to have everything, Louis. That's my thing. I want to have everything. I don't want to involve myself with an ecosystem. I want to know what's good for what. Because running has been a bit tricky with those. Because remember the ear thing, it falls out. So then I'll be like, if these are better, because these are sick. These were good, but the thing is, they didn't have noise cancelling. They didn't have. The bass wasn't as good. The audio, my voice sounded like it wasn't as bassy as it is now. I know you were hating earlier, and also
There's no
that was
hate
it. Yeah,
about.
so it doesn't have those new features that had. Also, the battery life was like 20 hours, not the 30. So this has a use case though. At home, if I'm just like, I don't know, even at home, I just use my headphones. So I mean, the Sonys. I don't even have like the top end Sonys. I just have like a decent WCs. They're like, and I got like customized muffs, the softer ones, and they're beautiful. And if I'm sitting down, I'm using these ones you got me. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like if I'm like just here, so it's like I want something for everything because nothing is good overall. So it's like you might as well know what's good for what, and then in that moment you just use that. So then you're happy. I'm a hedonist. I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
A what?
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't say anything.
Yeah. All right.
I
Are we doing this
feel
quiz?
like there was. What?
Go ahead.
I feel like there is, like, I don't know how well the Apple, like the AirPods work well with Pixel devices. I imagine they work pretty well because it's just Bluetooth, right? Maybe you don't get all the functionality.
Yeah.
You'd have to let me know when you get them. Like there is the right tool for the right job.
Yeah. That's what I'm at. That's who I am. That's who I am, Louis.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
There's also a level of like how much things cost, what it was, and whether it's worth it. And I guess you got to try it to find out what it is, whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like I wouldn't personally buy any Apple devices mainly because of what they've been doing with like the whole right to repair movement and whatnot.
Louis, 15 tech-related questions from investtech.com by Apris.
Tech-related questions from investtech.com.
Yes.
Investec, isn't that a bank?
I don't know. Is it? Nah. Anyway, what was the first emoji or emoticon ever used, Louis? We've got the smiley face without the big smile, a sad face, or the tongue out.
Well, it's going to be a smiley face. I don't think the tongue out.
What, smiley face, like normal smile or like mouth open smile?
Normal smile.
All right. What technology is used to record cryptocurrency transactions? Digital wallet, mining, blockchain, or token?
Say the options again.
Digital wallet, mining, blockchain, or token?
And what was the question?
What technology is used to record cryptocurrency transactions?
Well, it's technically a ledger. There'd be a ledger of transactions, but it'd be on the blockchain.
What tool would you use to reduce the digital image size? A filter, a brush, rotate, or crop?
This is a tech-related question, yeah?
It is. Listen. We're starting. We're going to, as the weeks go, we're going to get harder. But this is how we're starting. So what's the answer then?
What was it? How to reduce the size?
What tool would you use to reduce the digital image size? A filter, a brush, a rotate, or crop?
Digital image size. Are they talking about like dimensions, or are they talking about physical size on disk?
This answer's the same.
No,
it's not. But I mean, like looking
I'll
at
go
these
for crop.
options.
I'll say they're talking about
Thank you,
dimensions.
thank
I'll
you.
go for
Let's move
crop.
on.
What
Why
trash?
is big data important? Because it is structured, because it may be analyzed to reveal patterns and trends, or because of its complexity, or because of its size. What the hell does that even mean? Because it may be analyzed to reveal patterns and trends?
Yes.
I'd go with that too.
These are trash questions, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't make them. That's my fault. What kind?
You're asking
I
me
just
them.
AI'd it, man.
You AI'd it. It's what the bot generated.
What kind of malware is designed to take advantage of a security hole before it is known? Zero-day exploit, a virus, a ransomware, or Trojan horse?
Say that question again.
What kind of malware is designed to take advantage of a security hole before it is known? Is that a zero-day exploit, a virus, a ransomware, or a Trojan horse?
I'm pretty sure they're going to go with a zero-day exploit, but technically the others could be because until it's detected, it's not detected. So I'll go with zero-day because they probably read some other definition.
Well, no, you're right, but also a known virus is a known. You know what I mean? You can still know viruses exist, or certain viruses exist, or ransomware, Trojan horses. But I think that known part does mean, like, day zero, like, no one knows that's even a thing or a threat. It's just like, oh, that was the first time we've seen that. Right? Moving on. Making a compressed digital archive might produce what type of file format? A PDF, a JPEG, a ZIP, or MP3? I don't know why I said those like that.
ZIP.
I said JPEG instead of JPEG. Flip it out. PDF.
I'm guessing whoever wrote this is a Windows user. Do a zip.
Yeah.
Why did they not say RAR?
You can still get RAR. I mean,
if you see a RAR file out there on the net, don't touch it. It's likely a virus. Like, I don't know anywhere that gives you a RAR.
Are you going with zip, Louis? Are you going with zip?
Yeah, I'm going with zip.
To compress files, cool. What does acronym FOSS stand for? Free and open source software, full option sensor system, follow-on support service, or fiber optics science system?
Who made this? This is the first one.
I can't see your face. Sorry, I've got two windows open. I mean, one window open.
It's the first one, man. This is bad.
I've lost it. No, I can't.
Fiber optic. I don't know what you said. That's hilarious.
Are you going for free and open source software?
Yes.
I actually didn't know that. I mean, I would have guessed that too, but I didn't actually know it. What? Right. I've never heard anybody use FOSS. They just say open source. Anyway, the more you know.
There's technically a difference between open source and FOSS.
And free open source.
Yeah. So you can still have
not
open
all open
software.
Source is free. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have like a subscription model on top of it to get premium features. Blah blah blah, whatever.
Gotcha. What technology is used to make telephone calls over the internet? Oh, sorry. What technology is used to make telephone calls over the internet possible? Bluetooth, Ethernet, NFC, or VoIP?
NFC, right? That'd be fun. Imagine trying to call someone across the world and you have the NFC, yeah? It's not getting further than like 10 meters. It's VoIP.
Yep.
It's a question for you. It's not a question for me.
I know. I was going to say, if I didn't know this, I'd quit tomorrow, man. Although technically, Ethernet... No, I'm kidding. It's not possible without it. It's not possible
there would be a wired connection somewhere. It has to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there has to be. Even the last...
Yeah, there has to be.
Trunk
regardless.
is going to be wired across the flipping Atlantic or some shit, yeah. I was going to say you can still use Wi-Fi, but like, yeah. What is
you can technically satellite, but how does your thing connect to the satellite? What's the... Unless your device simultaneously receives and broadcasts to the satellite, which you can get, which won't be spent cheap. So I guess technically it's possible to have it without a wired connection. But then at the same time, in the satellite, it's technically wired at some point, right?
So technically, in your device as well, there's wires.
Yeah.
That adapter connects to something,
but it said
right?
Ethernet, though. It said Ethernet. It didn't say wired.
That's true. You're right.
So I guess technically you can have it without Ethernet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry, what was the next question?
What is the term for text that automatically continues from one line to the next? Word processing, word wrapping, word flowing, or word binding?
What was that question?
What is the term for text that automatically continues from one line to the next? Word processing, word wrapping, word flowing, or word binding? I'm not going to lie to you, I don't even know what this is either.
It's going to be word wrap. I think that's meant to be like a CSS question or something. I don't know. That's worded and they've given weird answers. Like, whoever made this, is there a name with it?
I think at the end we'll see.
All right.
You're going to word wrapping.
Yeah, word wrap.
Continuously. Wait, what term of text that automatically continues from one line to the next?
Yeah, word wrap. I think they mean it in, like, you've got a long word, like, you've got the format, say it's the word something, but obviously it's going to be on the word break and the device, it goes something dash thing. That's what I'm interpreting it as, but whether that's legit or not.
So, in terminal, in a terminal,
yeah,
when you resize your window,
yes,
and then when you resize it, it follows to the next line.
Yep.
Or it will just go forever and you have to scroll.
Yeah.
Is this the same? If you have it set so it goes to the next line, depending on how big your window is.
So if you continually type, that is the GUI handling it for you. If you say, like, you're in Bash and you do a backslash and then you do another new line to say, look, I want to go on to the next line, that would then be interpreted by the terminal and moved it forward.
But what would that be wrapping to, or would that be something else?
No, so if you physically put like a backslash and then continue on the next line, that's not word wrapping. That's you splitting the same command on multiple lines. Yeah. But if you just keep typing and you go off the screen because you've got like a 720p window or whatever, or you've got a small GUI, that is the GUI wrapping it. But what gets sent to the terminal is one continuous string. It doesn't break it for you.
Yeah, it doesn't break. Yeah. No, actually, the question should have been, can it wrap? Because it doesn't, right? You have to.
But it depends on the context. We're talking just about terminals, but that's saying word processing. So is that word processing in like a browser? Like,
no, yeah, I'm thinking, but just in general for like things I actually use on a day-to-day basis. Is that even a thing that you can do?
What?
To let it like wrap, depending on the size of the window, automatically.
In what context?
So, like, if it's reading out lines of the program or whatever, but the strings are, or not the strings, the lines are just long, can you let it, is there a way to change it to wrap around the size of your window?
Yeah, so by default, a terminal, like within your TTY, it will try to wrap it onto the next line. So it won't be formatted nicely, it will just show the characters on the next line. Or there'd be a way that you can say, hey, look, ignore this, show it, but if it gets cut off by the screen, just don't show it.
Yeah.
So it depends on the context.
All right, moving on. What does it mean to uncloud? Organize cloud storage, remove all files from cloud, print a file from the cloud, or delete a cloud service account?
I'm guessing it's the last one, but that's a dumb question with dumb answers.
Uncloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well.
It is a real thing. A lot of people do think that the cloud's better and cheaper, and then they get there and spend twice the amount because they don't know how to use the cloud, and then go back to running on.
Wait.
Anyway,
delete a cloud service. I can't undo it. So you locked it in anyway, right? There.
Yeah, last one.
Low key, I'm looking at that. Remove all files from the cloud.
What cloud? What files? Like,
yeah,
to uncloud, you've still got the cloud. You've still got your account tied.
But that's yeah, exactly. What are we Like, are we unclouding the cloud, or are we unclouding our files?
Are we taking out all of AWS's data centers? Is that what it's saying on cloud? Like what? Like,
moving on. Which computer language is the most widely used? C#, Swift, PHP, or Java?
Well, again, it depends on the context and what year this was made. It's definitely not PHP. It's definitely not Swift. What are the other two options? Java and C#.
Yes.
If you go more towards finance and like embedded devices, I'd say Java. But if you go more towards, again, it depends on like who this is. From the earlier questions, I would imagine this person's like a Windows user. I'd probably say they're going to say something like C# and go more Windows orientated with GUI software and stuff like that. But I'll go with Java.
There is more there is more Linux boxes than there is Windows, right, in the world.
Yeah, almost all embedded
So
devices.
that's how I think
classed
about
as
it.
Linux, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would be running Java.
It would be
But you
Java,
can still
yeah.
run C#. And again, it depends
Yeah,
on what
but-
year this was made. If this is
Oh,
a
well,
Windows
let's
user
assume-
and they're
let's
running
assume-
ISS
Let's assume today. It definitely wasn't today.
today, I'd still say Java.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Approximately, how much data exists in the digital universe today? 2.7 megabytes, 2.7 gigabytes, 2.7 zettabytes, or 2.7 terabytes?
Well, it's Zeta, of course.
Yeah. Which tech buzzword is closely related to artificial intelligence?
Oh, God.
Virtual reality, machine learning, cryptocurrency, or microservices?
What was the question? What's mostly related?
Which tech buzzword is closely related to artificial intelligence, brackets AI? Is it virtual reality, machine learning, cryptocurrency, or microservices?
It's machine learning. It's the bloody thing you do to teach the AI.
Yes. Which of the following is an important step towards the paperless concept? Doxing, digitizing, debugging, or downloading?
Digitized.
Doxing.
I feel like I'm losing brain cells doing this quiz.
What was the first cross-platform PDF software? Adobe Acrobat, Foxit Phantom PDF, Nitro Pro, or Able to Extract Professional?
First one was Adobe, right?
Yes, Acrobat.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Mainly
Hint.
because...
Investech.com has a link on their top right corner that is Able to Extract Pro. Just gonna let you know that. It's one of their
Extract Pro.
products, actually.
What?
It's more, Able to Extract Pro is one of their products.
All right. So I'll go with the
Investech.com.
Acrobat.
Bet. He's like, that's good to know. I'm still going for Acrobat. All right, these are all locked in. Oh, there actually was a hint option. Developed by Investech. That's hilarious. Oh, Louis. My hint was the actual hint too. I didn't realize that. But I gave you it, so, you know. We're going to submit. Where? Okay, submit. What did you get, Louis? 13
Should
out
be
of
all of
15.
Oh, what do you mean?
You got the last
two
one
of them
wrong,
are wrong?
obviously.
What's the
And
last
then
one?
you got... That was the first cross-platform PDF software. It was Able to Extract. It wasn't Adobe Acrobat. Which is produced by Investech.com, Louis. That was the hint. And the one else you got wrong was... Java was correct, by the way. What does it mean to uncloud? It means to
No.
organize cloud storage. It doesn't even mean remove or delete a service
Uncloud?
account. Yeah. It just means to organize it.
No, it doesn't. This is trash.
That's what it says, Louis.
What's that website?
Investech.net.com. Investech.com.
Invest Tech.
Yep.
2 T's, 1 T?
1T.
.com.
Oh, wait. Investech. 2T. No, invest. Invest
You should be
in
looking
tech.
at-
Invest in tech.
Oh, my
It
days,
just-
that's different. .com,
uncloud
right?
meaning. Yeah,
Dot
.com.
.com.
To free from
What
or
is
as
this?
it from
You-
clouds.
Nah, this is trash.
That doesn't sound
You've
right.
used some jank website.
Mate, they had the first cross-platform PDF reader. That's who they were.
200. Now, what is this? It's an American company. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say too. Because when I unclouding,
Uncloud. Morons. Whoever put that. Uncloud.
reverse cloud migration is a process of removing an information system or service. That's what Medium. I don't know who wrote that.
Did they mean to
Medium.
put like unclutter or something? Like Like,
What
I
is
feel
the
like they're
cloud?
missing words. Like they submitted it before they finished their sentence.
You know what? I'm going to message to the by Apirus. Apirus? I don't know who that is. I'm going to message him, Louis.
Do it.
You have to run.
Like, yo, who wrote this? You need to fire him.
Podcast is over. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I hope you enjoyed our breakdown of the CrowdStrike issue and our going through tweets and memes and stuff that actually turned intellectually. That's what we are. We are Intechlectual. Louis! I need an applause to exit.
Oh, wait.
Clap us in. Grand opening, grand closing, Louis. All right?
What
That's
episode is this?
This is episode 14.
Episode 14. Been Intechlectual.
It's been Intechlectual. I'm Emmanuel.
I'm Louis.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, I think it's called. The VPN, link in bio. Description, Louis, don't kill me. And until the next episode, tune in. Talk to us. Q&A will be in there. Poll, we'll do, what does uncloud mean to you?
Nah, it's made me mad.
Oh, no. You can't leave on a sad note. I'll end with a joke.
It's not that deep. Go on,
we'll end with a joke.
CrowdStrike.
Where do polar bears keep their money?
Something to do with the bank. I've heard this one before, but I can't remember the. Go on, tell me.
Snowbank.
Yeah, cool.
Does that upset you more?
No, that's cheered me up actually.
There you go. Thank you for listening, and until the next time, hope you have a good week.